This Calm planner is really nice, and it's paperback, but it's thick paperback. So it's kind of in between a hardcover and a paperback. And the size of it, in case you need to know, like for putting it in a purse or backpack, it's about 7.5 inches wide, 9.5 inches long, and it's between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. And it came in this. It says, trying something new can be uncomfortable. Congratulate yourself for your willingness to invite self-growth into your life. What we think, we become. And it also came with a bookmark. So it's designed in Canada, printed in China, and it's designed to be for 1 month. You can start it on any day you want, and you don't have to necessarily use it every day, because you get to set up your own calendar upcoming here. So why we made this, how to use it, goes over. It's undated. The planner contains 31 days. You can begin using it on any day of the month and use it as often as you'd like. So then it gives some examples and how to use the weekly overview. So it's nice, it gives a sample of how to use it, the daily overview. And this is the self-assessment questionnaire that you take at the start, so that you have a reading of what your stress level is when you start. Mine was moderate. And then some reflection questions about that test and your goals for the upcoming journey through this book. And it goes over what are boundaries, the importance of boundaries. Setting boundaries successfully, which is definitely easier said than done, but it gives a few tips. Techniques and strategies, deep breathing, grounding, and if possible, removing yourself from the situation or stressor, which of course isn't often or always possible, but that's where the other tips and techniques come in helpful. And this is the monthly calendar that you can fill out, setting it up for starting at any point. And then the weekly overview, 7 days, goals, notes, self-care activities, and keeping track of your anxiety levels. And boundaries. And as a question you can answer, to-do list. Today I'll find calm in, and then a place for notes. And so each day has a different question or activity, like this day has a maze, and then a question, and then they all have the same to-do section here, finding calm, and then notes. But this part over here is different for each day. And then end of the week reflection. What were my main wins? What were my main stressors? And what do I want to focus on next week? And we start another week. Word search. the same questions are at the end of each week. This is a good point about the brain. Like it says, ever feel stuck in a way of thinking? For example, do you find yourself always seeing the bad in a situation? Not to worry, our brains have the incredible ability to change their wiring to whatever it is we focus on. This ability, called neuroplasticity, means that the more we think and perceive the world in a certain way, the more our brain will reinforce this thinking. On one hand, this means negative thoughts reinforce more negative thoughts. On the other hand, this means that positive thinking can lead to more positive thinking, eventually becoming the default. So that's a good point, which is basically the overview of this. Is the point of this book is kind of rewiring your brain to deal with anxiety and stress, because anxiety and stress are a part of life. No matter what type of life you have, there's always going to be stress and anxiety. You can't get rid of all of it, and so it's just important to learn how to cope with it in a better way. And that's the end of it. It's 31 days, and then you do another stress questionnaire, and then you can see if it changed your coping ability to stress, if you feel less stressed at the end of the 31 days. And then ask the questions and references and notes. And then it has the answers to the different puzzles here in the back. And that's the end. I'm doing it in pencil so that if I want to do it again at some point or share it with someone else, then I can just erase my answers.